Okay, no, I am not. Not now.
Patrick was just saying, I am so nervous last night. Go ahead. Please.
No.
Oh, don't lie to the American people.
Yeah, don't lie
We
to
got
our
thousands
audience.
of viewers.
Don't lie
Don't
to
do this
them.
to us.
No, that's just bad subject matter.
Okay, look, all right.
All right.
She's young.
She is young.
Oh, please. If y'all knew my parents, if you only knew my parents.
Well, when are we going to meet them, Haley?
I mean,
I'm
whenever our schedules allow.
Wait, are you Italian?
I am.
Yeah, your last name, really.
Yeah.
I am consistently frightened that I already know your parents.
No way. Do you know Paul Capillo?
No, that sounded familiar, but no, I can't say I do.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mr. Paul. I'm Corey.
And I'm Patch.
And this
I didn't do anything
is your
bad
daughter,
last
Haley.
night.
I didn't do anything bad.
She made the cut. You raised her well. So, this is the Traveling Businessman podcast, whatever it is supposed to be. It's sponsored by Creare Marketing, of course. And what are you doing? Shout out to your YouTube, your social media.
Oh yeah, well we haven't gotten to launch yet. We've actually been going over Patreon goals because we're going to actually do the launch there first. We want to be about 5 weeks early for episodes. They're actually going to be vetted by people on our Discord. But essentially, my name is Patch. I am about to launch the Shinny Gamer, which will be a YouTube channel, a secondary YouTube channel and Twitch stream. We've played around with it here and there, and we've just tried to hammer out like a roadmap for the future and get people in on it and on our Discord on the Patreon because we're giving out. Let's be real, we're giving out Patreon stuff for free for a while,
Right.
Because that's how that works.
When you release, though,
Yeah.
can I get like an exclusive? I want to get some free Patreon stuff.
Absolutely.
My man.
Like,
Yes.
I mean, like the goal is because I work a retail job, but I work a retail job that is very freeform and very freeing. It's a local place, just a local shop, and I love it there. But we have a lot of downtime because it is a niche market. It's not something that's a constant thing. It's not a massive mega chain. We have a corporate owner now, but it's still not a massive mega chain. You know, vape shops are small places. So we even have downtime. Like I work on projects constantly. Like I've got. You saw that bag I lugged in here. I have notebooks and pencils and reference books and a laptop. I've just realized I brought the laptop with me, and I didn't need to do that at all.
Wait, what's all the reference material for? If you can,
Oh, part of it is my own notes. Just because I love writing, I have my own references for, like, I have different tiers in my notebook. Like, it has separations. I'll be like, this project has these, this project has these, this project has these. I love doing creative writing and stuff, but also organizing things like one thing we're trying to do and have been trying to do and why it keeps taking so long is you want to have episodes of our content because it's going to be a video game review show. We want it to be relevant, but we're not wanting to like put on blast a brand new thing that just came out or spoil it because I talk about stories. I love narratives. That's one thing about gaming, not just video games, but any gaming is it is an amazing way for you to experience a narrative. It's active. It's not a passive narrative. It's not like sitting and watching a movie. It's different every time. Do you press left? Do you press right? You know what I mean? But as much as I want to blab on that, I don't want to spoil new games for people, especially now games are getting harder to come by and getting more expensive.
Definitely.
Right.
Especially since the pandemic. I still have never actually seen a PS5 in real life.
Right.
We can only
Ever.
dream.
I found
honestly.
one on eBay. Actually, I found
way.
6. Yeah, they're like $400. But I was going to send it to one of you guys that you buy it, see if it came in, and then I was going to buy one.
Dang.
But counts
see
out the
how it
bag.
is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see how
that
it is.
if you did that's a tax write-off at that point. That's my job, man. I mean, if we're talking sponsorships, if you're you want to sponsor the show too, hell yeah, let's do it.
Every name I drop, eBay, PlayStation, Monster Energy, this isn't free. Sponsor us or no more content. No more name drops.
I had it turned around for a reason, but okay. Now
Is that
I know.
rain?
Yeah.
It was not Monster, it was Reign.
They're owned by Monster.
Same thing.
Same company. It's all right. It's all right.
Actually, I had one. They had a LeBron James sponsorship. Those are actually really good.
Are they?
Yeah, why am I giving them free? Shut up. But yeah, they're delicious. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, they're good. I love them.
The white gummy bear tastes exactly like the Haribo white gummy bears. Give us money, which are my favorite. Give us money. But the white gummy bear is my favorite. I always like is that white grape, and that's exactly what it tastes like.
Did you say white grape?
Yeah, it's like a white.
That's pineapple.
If they give us money, we'll switch the name to White Gummy.
It's actually just called White Gummy Bear.
We'll change the podcast name to
what
White
I mean?
Gummy Bear if you sponsor us. Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
All right, Haley.
Haribo, give me money. I will get a tattoo of a gummy bear.
I will too, right on my ribs.
We'll get matching ones. All of us. All three.
Your ribs too? That's where I'm getting mine.
Oh, on your ribs?
Yeah.
I was thinking more like on my arm.
I saw those guys with the mustard tattoo right here.
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
I gotta get one if they sponsor it. If they sponsor the podcast, I would get one. If they sponsor me, I'll walk around with one on.
I am not above being a walking NASCAR.
Absolutely.
I mean, sponsor us.
yeah.
This is a community. This is a community
Sorry,
situation.
us.
I don't have a logo on my body because I'm that cheap.
Well, we'll have to change that.
Yeah, exactly, guys.
Yeah.
He's getting a Creare Marketing logo, and it's very detailed. So get ready.
All right, cool.
And it's golden too, so it's going to be a much tougher to get.
Oh, we'll have to use like body glitter in
Yeah.
the ink. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll be
That
glowing.
won't be an infection at all.
You'll be glowing in the dark though. It'll be.
There's a couple of
Yeah, 'cause I'll be
tattoo shops
radioactive.
there's a couple tattoo shops in Vegas that do body glitter tattoos. and
Oh, I've
and
seen
stuff
them.
Like that. They're really cool. I've been thinking about getting one day
Uh-oh.
maybe.
Uh-oh.
But I don't like color tattoos. I don't like the way they fade. They fade weird.
Told you Patch was a bad influence.
Well, I want one of those. I shouldn't be saying this. Well, clients don't care. I want a Yakuza tattoo right on my
Nice.
back, you know,
Yeah.
because they got the red, the blue, the green on there. And shoot, man, like, you know, if I'm
Like a
giving
traditional Japanese.
yeah, if I'm getting you results, you shouldn't care about what tattoo is on my back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let's not forget our second host, Haley. She is a professional hairstylist. Well, she's
Not
going to be
yet.
going to school to be a professional
yet.
hairstylist. But we're going to call it that because first time I met her, her hair was extremely chic. So if you own a store, please bring her in. Let her work for you. You know, she's killing it out here. And look at her makeup. Don't play around. Come on now. It's evident. So
I promise I'm not her client. She's not responsible for this disaster in any way, shape, or form. And Creare Marketing does not condone the way I look.
we do condone this. We're a very free atmosphere here. Free as the vape shop you works at. Okay, we're free here.
Nice.
But tell us about yourself, Haley. Tell us about your hair dream.
Well, my dream for like hair stuff is just to be able to open my own shop and like have people work for me, so I have a really open schedule. Because I've been working since I was 15 and like fast food and stuff like that, so I've not really known an open schedule. Because not only that, I've just been constantly busy because I've been in theater and obviously school going on, and I joined soccer, so I always had a really full schedule, and I've not really had any freedom to really do anything other than classic high schooler things. I just graduated in May. I'm 18, brand new at everything. So, yeah, just I want to get out there and try new things, honestly.
Yeah, and if a genius like me gives her a chance, people like you most definitely can. Okay, so bring her on. Don't play around. Am I right, Patrick?
Absolutely.
Right. He called me a genius. That was part of the deal. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So, like I said, again, we're looking for sponsorships. Don't play around. There's something I did want to talk to you guys about. Have you guys keep up with the old Richmond Mall?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys this opinion. So there's this giant debate over this company that may or may not be open anymore. They're called Nerdscape. You ever heard of them?
The escape room.
Yeah, the escape room.
Yeah.
Cool logo. One of the coolest logos I've ever seen. Cool people. Got a podcast with them, by the way. Apparently, they may or may not be closed. And there is this giant debate on the I Love Madison County page of what business owners should do, especially the Richmond Mall. Some people are calling them lazy for not marketing, which is kind of harsh online.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little
yeah.
bit.
And some of the business owners are, of course, mad about that assumption. I wouldn't like to be called lazy either. But how many of the stores have you heard in the Richmond Mall? Because I walked in and I saw she hasn't sponsored it yet, but she will. Golden Lease. Samantha, don't play with me. She sponsored the podcast. I walked in there, and she actually referenced me to Nursecape. I didn't know they were in there.
Oh yeah.
So they got a big problem. Yes, I'm gonna say it on the podcast. They got a big problem with the property manager. This guy doesn't clean up anything. He doesn't fix anything. He kind of leaves them in the dust, which is not the way you manage a mall or any place really.
Yeah.
So they got problems with like shutting down their kitchen and losing money while he's not fixing anything. But Ashley Furniture just came in. He's fixing the whole thing up.
Nice.
It's kind of crazy. So I guess my question for you guys would be like, as a business owner there, what would you do?
Well, right now, especially, there's a bunch of festivals going on. Not only in Berea, the Spoonbread Festival is happening this weekend, but I would just try and like book a space and advertise myself the best I could at one of these festivals, because there was a woman that was running like a clothing tent at Spoonbread, and I didn't even know her shop existed in the Richmond Mall until she was there, and she was like, yeah, I run this shop, blah blah blah, you should come by. And I was showing my sister, and basically just word of mouth is really, really effective. So that's probably what I would do, stuff like that. And get on TikTok. It's so effective.
TikTok, yes.
TikTok is a big, effective way to market yourself.
Yeah, I think I know the boutique you're talking about. I haven't been in yet. What about you, Patrick? What do you think? You're the managing a vape store now.
Not managing.
We're just gonna say you are. We're just gonna say you're
Gotta
managing.
make you sound important, man.
I didn't say those things.
These are false allegations.
But it occurs to me that the issue with the Richmond Mall has been going on longer than the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
I feel like these are culminations of tensions is kind of how it's coming across. You can feel the frustration just walking through the place.
For sure.
Yeah.
You really can.
sure.
And I've been to places. There was a great little hobby shop there, card shop, games and stuff that moved elsewhere. Other places that have just shut down. It would be bad if Nerdscape closed, because I don't think there's anything outside of Lexington nearby that even has escape rooms that I'm aware of.
Right.
And that was, it was a hot trend. It's not super hot now post-pandemic, but that can pick back up now that people can start attempting to resume life in a more controlled environment. Maybe it can come back in some form or fashion, but there's so much space there. And yet there's so few filled and occupied businesses that it occurs to me that if various owners are having issues with the property manager and individually they're not getting heard, they might need to start working together a little bit.
That's what I
on
said.
this one. And I don't think that they need to do anything strong arm or anything, but you got to remember there's a lot of value in space. Anything could be there. Why isn't anything in there? Well, if the property manager's looking for a certain amount and he's not finding it, why is that? Like, what are the trends that are doing that? What can we do to make it more appealing on us so that we can get business ourselves?
Exactly.
But at the same time, it almost sounds, and I don't know the circumstances with this, but it sounds like there's a more personal drama to it. That just needs to get nipped in the bud. That's just bad for business no matter who it is. If there's a property manager not willing to work with the people he's renting to, he needs to decide if he's going to change his business or not be in that business.
Yeah.
And it's time to make an action so that people can move on with their lives, move on with their jobs, move on with whatever their endeavors are. And if You guys are a group of tenants here trying to get your businesses any benefits, cleanliness. You can't even patch the holes, let alone actually repave the parking lot or put some display and advertising up, maybe some better
Yeah.
renovations. If you can't do any of those, you clearly don't want the building. Can they buy the building and start hiring a property manager to run that kind of thing?
Yeah.
And just have a conglomerate of owners for their location. You could even have that be part of opening a business in the mall, is basically buying your way into the property. People would all have even stakes, you know. And then the business is in everyone's benefit of raising. You're not just going, okay, I need to get my store up. It's like, okay, we need to get all our stores up.
Yeah.
Because if people are coming to eat here, they're going to walk it off and hang out here. And if they're coming to buy this here and they smell this cooking here, they're going to want to see what that is.
Right.
And then if they see an advertisement here, but it's across that way and it's not yet, then they're going to know, oh, hey, there's something here by this thing I like. And that's going to generate more and more and more and more business. There should, realistically, you should have some money person right now trying to open small, pretty much mom and pop retail outlets, because that is the cheapest investment.
Yeah.
That is what every town and city is lacking in America right now, and has been for years. You need someone who is not in a predatory way, but in a supportive, almost like reverse insurance of, you know, I want to help pay for this business so that you can help pay me back some as a financial, like I have an investment and you have what you're wanting, your job opportunity. We need something that's not as predatory as we saw that caused the 2008 recession or anything.
Right.
But we've got to have, instead of just opening this one little thing, open a few things in a row and own them all, and just try to hire some people that you can trust. And that's another hard point, most certainly, but you have to start somewhere, even if it has to be you. Something can't start from nothing. Somebody has to take action. And I think that's the biggest thing that just has to get done first and foremost.
Yeah.
People need to either start making decisions or at least hammering out the details to come to a conclusion on these decisions, because they're not working together.
Right. That's part of it too. You know, it's the collaboration. Like Samantha, my prime example, works to collaborate with everyone there and pull together events, but she's a storefront owner, you know, and she has events for her own place. That's the property manager thing. And it even affects my business, which is weird because they've lost companies that was there. Like Card Trooper, like you said, was there. I was gonna schedule a podcast with them, but they were so busy packing up, trying to have end of sales events, and then moving to the new Richmond Mall. You know, that's annoying as hell for everybody.
Yeah.
And you lost all the nerds that went to Card Trooper games, including me. You know, to walk through the mall and go in there, right? So you got Card Trooper games right there, and you got Nerdscape, right? Two very nerdy things. Now nerds like to eat, so you got a restaurant right there. But to your point, the owner of Nerdscape wanted to buy the mall and renovate it, and I think he was going to make a tavern. Was that right? He's going to make a tavern? I think I was trying to talk him into a tavern. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to talk him into it.
Nice.
Various game spaces.
Right, he was going to make a D&D area. That's what it was. He was going to make a D&D area. So I took his idea of we're going to make a tavern eventually. So
Nice.
we'll fly him out or something. But yeah, that's part of it. Is he wanted to buy because he understood working with I think the property manager really wants to collect rent, but not make it into a property that's worth
Yeah.
anyone coming to.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, speaking of, is Samantha talked me into this. I'm going to have workshops there. She asked me to do workshops for them, a marketing workshop. She said they were interested in it. So I plan on, probably in 2 weeks, I'm going to have them make banners that I'm going to put on a table like this, set up in the middle of the mall, market it for 2 weeks, and say we're having an event here. Get all of them together, put their banners on the table, and have a 1-minute podcast. So anyone who walks in can sit down to talk, be on camera, get their ideas out. And then after that, maybe 2 hours of doing that. I plan on doing a workshop for all the companies that's there. Maybe at the
Cool.
end of their shift, so it may be like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Who knows? But that's the plan so far. So if I end up planning this workshop, everyone come out and support the old Richmond Mall.
It needs it.
It does
Yeah,
need
it
it.
does.
That's part of the debate too. Is that people complain about the Richmond Mall and that it's dying, which is bizarre to me. I'm used to going to least one more time, just one more time. These, yes, I am. One more time. These people will complain about advertising, and she sells tea and coffee there, soaps, all kind of stuff. But they'll go to Starbucks and
Yeah.
buy something from Starbucks, right? Which is okay, but at the same time, you can't complain about small business owners who might be selling something at a cheaper price than Starbucks,
Yeah.
and they go to Starbucks, right beside
Exactly.
the old Richmond Mall, right? So where do you guys lean on that type of debate? It's always the chain versus mom and pop shop. It's like you go out to eat here, but we have a eatery here that people love. So where would you land on that?
I think people put too much stock in name brands and recognition today. I think when you see things uniformly, you're given the impression of perfection. You're given that uniformity. You're not actually getting the dents and the flaws, but then you're also kind of losing the flavor. If you're in a rush and you're running out to go grab something and you needed to just run into a store and you went into Walmart, it's not your fault that you're helping support them because that's the place you have to go. At the same time, if you're going, I want something for lunch, I don't want a burger. I don't want car food.
Yep.
I would like something like that I can eat that isn't horrendous. You don't look around for like your local restaurant. You're like, I would totally eat Taco Bell, but it's Taco Bell, and I'm sorry, people be getting that way.
Right.
You don't have a local Mexican restaurant. You can find one in every place.
Yeah, Berea's got like 3 or 4 in our tiny little town. It's not even 2 miles across.
And stands too. A lot of
Yeah.
trucks and stands too. You're
and
driving
even
down
more
the
food
pie.
trucks. Exactly. You want something that could be like Asian. You want like a Chinese food or something. You don't have a local Chinese place. You have to go to Panda Express. Why? Like, yeah, if you're going someplace and you want people to have a very same experience as a group, go do a thing. It's not bad to drink at Starbucks or even
Right.
pick one up from your local gas station, especially locally owned ones. Support stuff, people. But
I do that.
yeah, they're still going to get your money either way. They're that prevalent of brands. That doesn't mean it needs to be the only thing in your life.
Yeah.
The only way you experience something. Brand loyalty can get out of hand. And that's a big thing, I feel, with needing to provide. We don't just need to have businesses open and thriving. We need a reason for these businesses to be open and thriving.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even if it's just filling up the space, like there's so much space, if nothing else, they already had the DMV in there.
Yeah.
You can't make part a homeless shelter for people that have been panhandling all around the traffic lights of the Bluegrass for months now. Like, we've been
Yeah.
having a big uptick in all this. You can't make a place where they can go get out of the rain and eat a meal, not even a good, just a sandwich, meat on 2 bread, like it would cost next to nothing. The investment in just the area to help in preventative issues is there, and then it can be resold for actual utility once it's back up on its feet as a known and important facility and area in the area. Anyone could take this place with a little investment, including its current owners, and make something out of it.
Yeah.
I know we're living in a post-COVID world and we're living in post-recession worlds, but that doesn't mean you just stop trying. Nothing can happen if you don't try.
Right.
And that's what it seems to be. It just seems to be like rams butting heads and not actually ceding or gaining any territory. I mean, can't you at least wiggle the two sticks together to try to get some heat, even if you don't hit a fire for a while?
I like that metaphor.
I mean,
Yeah.
Still in
That's
it.
a really-
That's,
that's a really
that's
good
an
one.
official Creare Marketing metaphor. Copyrighted.
patch series.
That's
Signature. I don't
Yeah.
know what signature that is. That was just
signature.
Yeah.
That's a Nike check mark.
It kinda
Sponsor
was.
us, Nike.
Sponsor.
Yeah,
Sponsor
Money.
us, Nike. What about you, Haley? What about you?
Well, with the local business thing, my family, we travel a lot for my dad's job because he works service lane for a railroad company. And so we're all up down the eastern, eastern coast. So every time we go somewhere, we always try to find like the local mom and pop shops, and that's where we have the best experiences. So I don't really fall under a person that sticks to brand loyalty or anything like that. And I feel like it's gotten really, really bad with post-COVID stuff happening because people are just scared to go out and try things. And just like if you can't experience anything new if you're too scared to like step foot into a new building or anything else because you don't know what it's going to be like in there. That's just the beauty of trying new things,
Right.
honestly.
I'm a stickler for finding coffee shops. There's a coffee place. Now, I don't want to say anything negative about them, but their coffee's not my thing. But they do have one thing on the menu I always go for, and it's a matcha tea. It's a seasonal thing.
Nice.
So it went from blueberry to white mocha a few months ago. And it's called Leestown Cafe. Delicious. But one thing I will say for business owners in this aspect is you have to be undeniably good too. You know, you
Yeah.
can't just have a product and expect, since you're a small business, for people to pop up. That's not going to work, right? Your product has to also be good, affordable, and you have to be trying to build your brand at the same time. You know, that's part of it too. It's, you know, you may be 20 years in and you start a dance studio or you start a bakery, whatever it is. How much are you of a business person at the same time? You know, how much of the business do you know outside of all this experience you have doing what your business offers? So
Yeah.
you have to spend that time trying to learn the business and prop your business up too. That's part of it. You have to spend the time trying to figure out how to get your business out there, how to run a business, but having the experience doing it is not the same as being able to run it.
Something fascinating I find in the last several generations, a little bit before me, definitely well after me, is an extreme fear of investment. Whether it's time, money, energy, patience even, like just there's an extreme lack of unity and push. It's all this individual hold,
Right.
right? It's like stemming a tide instead of holding it. It's not really working. And we see places like the Richmond Mall because of that. We have some people who knew what they were doing at certain points. They would have to because they have a successful business or they've had a successful property or they have value to their name, whether it's a brand recognition or not. And over time, people are still buying coffee. People are still going out to eat. People are still buying games. People are still getting nicotine. People are still, going to the grocery. Nothing has changed as far as wants and needs, really. What's changed is we all tried to do this thing, quote unquote, by our own bootstraps, without any help.
Right.
And a lot of that also goes back to investment of the last time most of us invested in something we thought we were passionate about was college. It was us getting predatory loans, getting bogged down in chains and shackles, and then getting steered into something that wasn't what we thought it was because it was a load of goods that weren't what we bought.
Right.
And now we don't trust anyone to just help us. What's fascinating, I feel like the world's oldest millennial when I talk like this, but there was something I genuinely have seen and found a great deal of love in two generations that a millennial doesn't normally get along with. Gen Z and Gen Xers, or Gen, like, between those boomer Gen Xer kind of eras. And that is middle-aged people making tutorial videos on YouTube for young kids who've never got parented of,
Yes.
what do I do when this tire falls off my car?
Yes.
What do I do? What is an oil change? I finally got an apartment. What do I do about this toilet?
Right.
Like,
I had to look
I'm
that
like,
up.
I can't believe you guys, A, are willing to go out for that help, but B, that you've actually been able to find it, especially from a source that traditionally we haven't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find that fascinating that we can't apply that to other avenues, other trains of thought. Business should be run the exact same way. Business cannot be a all on our own, needs of myself and no one else thing.
Right.
Like, there's not a business in the world that operates that way. I don't care if you're a McDonald's and you're really in the business of real estate, because that's what McDonald's really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But McDonald's alone needs all the workers inside it. It needs the foundation it's built on. It needs the land it pays for. It needs the energy it pays on. It needs the supplies it buys. Literally all these other businesses to feed into this one business so it gets big, and then provides enough as a big business to merit that back out into the world, as that's just what an economy is. Economy is really hard to have without community. And that's what it seems like more and more, especially in local, almost suburban areas, or rural suburban areas, as I like to call them. Ones where it's like, hey, we have this big patch of road with like 80 houses all crammed in together.
Right.
And then we have 18 miles of trees in a radius around us with nothing else.
Central Kentucky, right
We still,
there.
yeah, those places where it's like, sure, we're crowded and there's tons of people and it's loud and busy, but we have to drive 45 minutes to and from to be able to go to the grocery. Even there, you end up just having a bunch of people who are like, I'm going to come in and try something that I want for me and I think other people will like, and I know there's a demand for it and I'm just going to do it, but want to do literally everything on their own. Guys, you don't know how to build buildings. Please don't try to build your own store.
Yeah.
If you want to open a restaurant because you love the hustle and bustle of like taking dishes and stuff, don't cook the food. Find a cook. Don't build the stove. Find an electrician. Right? I mean, there are pieces. This should apply. You've got to break down your business and start making connections on every level so that you have a much more streamlined machine to actually put out there. If you're going to open a retail space of any kind, whether it's foodstuffs or anything, make contacts with all the people that you want to get stuff from to sell.
Right.
Get some people who are interested in seeing what your business can become, who want to support that but don't want to be there every day. That's called investors.
Right.
They don't have to be banks. Ask people.
You know what's funny about your point about people looking up stuff? I had to look up. I had a bad backup in the bathroom. Okay. And I don't think I had the proper plumbing materials. Let's just say that. I had to look up how to unclog my toilet at 21 years old. And he showed me, he's like, look, this is the best plunger you can get. I had to go to Walmart and watching the video. I'm like, man, all these kind of look alike. I just grab him, like, yeah, that's the one he was using. I'm looking and turning it around. I go by it and I plunge it out. I was like, by God, it worked. And
Nice.
that's something I shouldn't have to look up, is how to plunge my toilet. And I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing or
No, it's
I'm
not.
struggling.
It's not, because as a millennial, I grew up not knowing a whole other list of things that the people who are older than me are like, I can't believe you never learned this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that a
Yeah.
lot.
You know,
That's how
But
I
the-
am with a lot of my friends because my parents, they
gave
got
you real world experience.
yeah, right. But my parents, they weren't taught by their parents. Like my mom, she was I don't want to say abandoned, but she was kicked out by her mom when she was like 17. And my dad,
I'd say that's abandoned, yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
grandfather on his side, he was a weird old man. I can't describe him any other way. He was a strange man, and he didn't teach his kids anything about anything. It was mostly my grandmother, but we're not going to get into that. But anyways, that's how they were raised, is they weren't taught anything. So they had to go around and ask people, "Hey, how do you do this and this?" Because I don't know how. And that's how they raised me and my sister, is they just taught us everything. And they just, like, they would throw us into the deep end a little bit, be like, "Get your feet wet, do that." And I'd be like, "But why?" And they said, "Well, because you need to." And I said, "Okay." And then my friends will be like, "You know how to do that?" Just like, "Yeah, I know how to do that. Why?
That was my
do you
reaction
not?"
to it, yeah.
And they're like, "No, I don't." And I just find that so crazy. I find it so weird.
Yeah, she knows how to drive stick.
Yeah.
I can't drive stick. No, none of my friends know how to drive sticks, and I have 30-year-old friends. Okay, they don't know how to drive stick. I'm like, what the hell? Why do you know how to drive stick?
So that actually goes back to that same point of like being gun shy to ask for help. Who all has gotten that feeling of like, I cannot believe you don't know how to do this, and that shame makes your like, dude, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There, for the longest time, I don't know what it was. I don't see this kind of thing much anymore. But everything was aggression. Every response. It was not just I can't. Wow, it's kind of curious. You don't know how to do this, huh? Cool. All right. Well, now you do. It's not like that. It's
It's more
it's
like annoyed. Like,
oh my God, I
I'll
can't
have to
believe
teach
you.
you how to do this.
You don't know how to do anything.
Like, shouldn't your parents have taught you that? No.
You know
they
what I'd
didn't.
say?
They didn't. That's why they don't
I'd
know.
say, are you going to shame me or are you going to teach me? They're like, oh, okay, I'll teach you. Then.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
That's
enough.
just my
Not enough
direct
people
response.
are gonna shut that down. You know, they shut down the shaming. They'll just abide by it.
Yeah, I don't like.
We gotta
getting
stop
shamed.
doing it first. True, but
Yeah.
we also can't just like let it go.
Right.
That's what I really like
Yeah.
about this new parenting style that's coming up. It's called gentle parenting. And it's more like just letting your kids be kids and also just teaching them how to function properly. Like, there's this one mom on TikTok. She got a little kitchen play set, and she had her husband doctor it up to where it actually like functions. It has like a working sink and a little working stove on it. It's adorable. And her kids are 5 and 3 and can already cook themselves full meals.
Dang.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Isn't it called radio?
It's a teaching philosophy, but it would fall in line with it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
teaching philosophy that my lady friend has been learning about because she's in I want to say psychology, child and family study, which is generic psychology.
It's not
It's generic psychology. It's for psychology students who don't want to go through all the hassle of psychology, and so they choose child and family studies.
You're really doing the humanitarian stuff.
I'm so happy that this
So
chair
offended.
shrank so hard because now I'm much harder to hit when the chair comes flying in from off frame. I'm much lower now.
She has bad aim too, so you're very smart in that.
Right. Very lucky.
I guess I'm just screwed.
Yeah, you are. You know, it could
Oh,
go
well.
anywhere. But yeah, what you're talking about, you know, I think it's radio, right? Radio. Radio.
Yeah.
So And I agree with it too, because I learned in that style in a different way. You know, my
Yeah.
mom was mostly in jail, so I had to learn how to cook for me and my sister on my own, basically.
Yeah.
And by the age of 6, now they're doing it at 5 or 3 on purpose, which is much better. I would say. But speaking of your point earlier about the collaboration, so you guys have went through what I've went through for the last few months of trying to get guests on and no one responding.
Yeah.
So I've had some marketing people I asked, you know, some local companies in Lexington that do advertising just like I do, and to come on, and one of them responded. He wanted to do virtual. We don't really offer virtual right now because it looks like high garbage when you see one of those podcasts still.
Yeah.
We just aren't. We're just not at the era where virtual looks really good yet.
Yeah.
And we're not at the era where you can still be personable with someone and people enjoy watching something that's virtual like that still. So I was like, hey, you know, I can actually schedule you in Lexington and I'll just do the podcast and drive up there to Austin Incorporated.
Yeah.
No response. Nonsense. You know, so try to work with people's schedule. They're not having it. And like you've had recently, they don't email you back, right? So I understand, you know, we're marketing companies. They're thinking compete against this guy who's up and coming, right? We don't want him
Yeah.
to steal our clients. I don't want your clients. All your clients are local. Mine are. I'm trying to be global. You know, I don't want to steal your clients.
Exactly.
I had someone who needed a website design, an older client of mine, and there's a company called Creare that does website designing and marketing. I wanted to collaborate with them so I can send that guy to them because I don't design websites. No answer. You know, so we could collaborate. We can cover each other's strengths and build each other up. There's enough for everyone to eat out here. You know, and it's very weird to me that a lot of people don't feel this way until you go to LA.
There's more than enough to eat out here. No one's willing to cook. No one's willing to really even stir up most of the ingredients and then make a facsimile. And when the facsimile falls apart because it wasn't made well, people get shocked and everyone around is gun shy and doesn't want to try their own. And it's a weird environment to see. It's weird to have more closed buildings that used to house businesses that were thriving. It's so bizarre to have a part ghost town in parts of this place because there are more closed buildings than open ones. How do you lose a whole mall?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
In 10 years, you know.
An entire mall. Like,
Yeah, that just
not
doesn't
not
happen.
not just a couple of stores, not just no. You don't even have the guys who just exist in malls. The ones who are
Yeah.
like, hey, there's a space there, it's open. We have to buy a new one now for to meet this week's quota.
Right.
That's how Berea was after the 2008 recession on everything. Like downtown Berea, nothing was open. Not a single fudge shop, pottery thing, candle maker, nothing was open. And they're just now bouncing back. And I just found that completely insane.
Yeah, it's crazy to go through 2008 and then get hit with a random COVID for 2 years is devastating for sure. And I think part of both of your points, investing in 2008, people were investing before that.
Yeah.
People were investing even after the dot-com crash in 98, I think, or 97. People were still investing. Now people are they're not feeling it. They're not feeling
Yeah, they're
it.
too scared to take the risk.
And
Right.
everyone is trying to be too rogue in it as well. Communal investing can be done. It can
Yeah.
be done well.
Yeah. Like
You
Kickstarter.
don't have to. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be on Kickstarter to get something kickstarted.
Yeah.
If somebody come to 3 or 4 people with an idea, and all 3 or 4 of those people said that's a good idea, that would probably make money. Like I totally could see that. And he's like, I need $2,000 to do it, or to at least start it, and then and tells you how and why and what every last cent would be used for. If those 4 people are like, I would never spend $2,000, okay, would you spend $500? Because then you've got your $2,000 and you've all
Yeah.
got stakes in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And all you're doing is hiring somebody to work on the thing that he just told you about.
Exactly.
Right.
That's all it is. You hire a handyman to fix stuff in your house. You hire a mechanic to fix stuff for your car.
Mm-hmm.
You hire any number of things. Like sometimes you need to hire a plumber. You can't just YouTube it and figure out which plunger is
Yep.
which.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you have to get somebody who knows what they're doing. So if you find somebody who knows what they're doing and they're not getting paid to do what they're doing, and you want them to do what they're doing, pay them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't, then find other people who think you should pay them.
Yeah, that's what my dad does for all of his friends, because he's a tradesman, because he's taught himself how to do everything, like I said before. And he was a roofer for about 15 years. So his friends will get like these crappy roofs put on their houses for really expensive prices, and he's just like, I could have done that in 2 days for you for $500 just for supplies. And they're just like, well, they had all these reviews and blah blah blah, but he's just like, I could have done it better for you if you just would have asked for help.
Right. Answer your damn emails. That is going to be my
Yeah.
tagline for this. Answer your emails. An email is so quick. It's like a text message.
Exactly.
It reminded me of those people. I know we've all had friends. They're like, I was just too busy to text back for 48 hours. You know,
For a week?
for 2 weeks.
weeks?
Yeah, you didn't text back that whole time.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. And you never got another.
Ryan.
Damn Ryans, man. It's always
Dang.
no, the Ryan I know, he loves me to death.
Oh, yeah?
He'll
I
text
called
back.
you out. That happened.
We calling people out today, I guess.
Let me think of someone to call out.
let me just take a minute.
Corey's like, wait.
Aubrey.
I want in.
Aubrey texts back too fast. All right, that's also a problem. You need to be doing something.
That's me.
Don't text me back that quick.
I'm not Aubrey, but that's me.
I don't mind people texting back fast. I actually appreciate that. But it's just the people who send multiple text messages when something could have just sent in one thing.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, do you want to go to Starbucks? I'm free at 5. And I was just like, you could have sent that all in one
I
thing.
sent y'all that text yesterday. She's calling me out now.
Oh.
I did that.
I mean,
Y'all gotta finish
if
the
the
thought.
shoe fits.
I type up a storm and I'll send it right back to you, but you gotta
Yeah.
let me finish. The whole reason I end up having something that comes in like 3 messages is because like nobody will wait 20 seconds for a detailed thought.
Exactly.
Why are you typing with words and not just letters?
I've given up just typing on my keyboard because people will expect responses that quickly, so I just use my text to speech to text.
That's what I do. I do the talk to text. I was
Yeah.
driving here and I was pulling into a gas station, and I was like, "Hey, I'm actually in the right part of town now. Period. Be right there. Period."
That's what my mom does. Yeah.
You know, it's also annoying too. People like her. So she'll text me something, right? And I'll be texting back, and then all of a sudden I see Chrissy typing. I was like, don't you see me already typing? Let me finish
Yeah.
it. And then she'll send me another paragraph, so I got to erase it and then answer the last paragraph.
I can't see your.
She definitely can.
I definitely can.
Chrissy's a liar. Creare Marketing certified liar.
That's what my boyfriend does too. My boyfriend does the same exact thing.
I'm going to certify the lie, not the liar. Don't question me, Patrick. I'm a
Yeah,
genius.
man, he's our boss.
Not your
Gosh.
boss. Don't start saying that I am not your boss. This is
I already
Charles'
got called out
podcast.
for that.
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
First
Yeah,
text,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, I'm not your boss. I'm going to get that clear. There's a guy I
Just
work
call
with.
people boss, man.
Boss
Well,
man.
I just went through a traumatic experience. There's a guy I worked with. His name is Scott Willis. I want to say that because he doesn't like a lot of people knowing who he is. So I've been pushing him out. But I worked with this guy for a while, and every time I don't even think he knows my real name. He calls me boss man, and he's like 55. And he fixes my brakes and stuff. Every time you see him, hey, boss man, how are you and Stefan doing? I was like, you use Stefan's name, which is my friend, but you don't use my name. He calls me boss man. So when I saw you, I was like, we're not going to start this. We're not going to start this over again. Absolutely not. And then she starts. So I want to cut that off right now. No boss, just Corey. If you see me in public, don't talk to
Uncomfortable
me.
with boss.
Uncomfortable.
Insistent on genius.
Very insistent on genius. All right, enough call outs. All right, let's get serious here. All right, back to business. Tell me a little bit about yourselves that people can know before we wrap this up. I caught you off guard, didn't I?
Yeah.
Just
I
a
did.
little. It's
Tell
all
me
right.
everything.
Is this why you can't get hosts? They can't get interviews to come
Yes,
here?
yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That one actually hurt.
Oh, see, I didn't. Yeah, I went a little. That was too deep. My
deep.
bad. Shallow it up. All right. There's not really much to know about me. I'm just kind of a weird dude. I communicate through gaming, and I do not necessarily at all mean video games. I always think that life can be approached as a game because in reality, game is not a win or lose. It's an experience, and it's what do you get out of it. I was taught real young, it's okay to lose. It's not okay to not try. Mm-hmm. And I think if anything we talked about today is worth reinforcing, try. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I sincerely mean when I say it doesn't matter what you're doing, but try whatever you're doing. Because even if you're just needing to run out, get some gas, and then get home before the dog eats your leftovers, try.
Use your blinker.
That's the only way you can get fulfilled.
Yeah.
Is when you try. You want to open a business, you want to run it, you want to make some success, you got to try. And if you don't know what else to try, start asking.
Join my podcast. Join our podcast. Join their podcast.
Come get your name heard.
Get sponsored. What about you, Haley? What about you? Tell me everything we could possibly know about you.
Well, with all that, that's kind of hard to follow. It's like,
Yeah, I didn't want to
I don't
follow
know.
Patrick.
well, like I said, I don't have like a lot of real world life experience. So all I can really base it off of is I'm a huge like nerd. My friends in high school, we weren't really like the cool ones, but we weren't really like the super weird ones. We were kind of like in between, and we knew everybody and all that. I really excelled in choir. I love to sing. That's my thing.
Markiplier fan.
Yeah,
I didn't forget.
I love Markiplier. He's just so. There's just something about that man.
Just so handsome.
Oh, goodness.
He's
Don't
one of
even.
the very few extremely mainstream gaming YouTubers that I think is genuinely good at what he does.
Well, not only that.
I'm
he's
not
just
like
so,
trying
like,
to call out
kind-hearted and
well,
just,
absolutely
like,
that. I'm
Calling
not
out
trying to be.
PewDiePie.
I'm not trying to be like a call out guy to other, but I mean, there's like when you say mainstream, like you're talking millions upon millions of regular
Exactly.
viewers. Markiplier is one that actually feels like there's effort put in, because a lot of those is just simple, just a camera watching a dude.
Yeah, and he actually like loves his job, and that's what I love about him. It's just so passionate, and he's always coming up with like new ideas and stuff like that. Like his newest YouTube original like movie thing, In Space with Markiplier, that took him years to months to plan out.
Mark, come on the podcast.
Or
Please
sponsor
come on the
them.
podcast.
We'll change it to
Also
the
that-
Markiplier. This
We-
podcast if you sponsor it.
We'll
The
wear-
traveling Markiplier.
The travel Markiplier.
We'll wear some pink mustaches for you, buddy.
We can
Just
call
for
it
you.
I will
I will legitimately dye a mustache.
If I grow one, I will dye it.
We will learn.
Yeah.
We will learn how to play ukuleles, and we will be a traveling folk band called the Traveling Markipliers, all
Yes.
with
Yeah.
overalls and pink mustaches for reasons.
Everything he needs. Anything he needs.
Yeah,
We're
not desperate.
Yeah, we're not.
No.
They are. I am. So to wrap this up, we're going to be uploading it on YouTube, Rumble. I know a lot of people don't know what Rumble is. It's basically YouTube, which is uncensored, no strikes against your channel.
Oh, sweet.
Probably going to be spicing up all of Patrick's parts and, and putting them on TikTok. Some of Haley parts, put them on TikTok. So
Nice.
any embarrassing thing you've done, any weird frame I catch, You're gonna be famous on TikTok.
Nice.
None of my stuff is gonna go on there, of course.
Of course.
And
Of
that's
course.
where the genius comes into play.
Exactly. Genius. So, you guys got any closing remarks? Oh, before that, I'm just springing this on them. We're gonna have a Creare Marketing sponsored D&D game soon, and Haley's brand new, so you're gonna be able to see her struggle while we play, learn and build her character. He's gonna be our forever DM.
I knew it was coming. I knew that term was not getting. I knew that term had to be spoken before I left this building today.
Absolutely. I've been saving it for you, but I almost ended it before saying it. I'm going to be playing. My girlfriend's going to be playing if she has the time, and whoever else I can find. So we're going to have one of those. Look out for those. It may not be recorded. It might just be audio. It might just be us playing and telling the experience on the next podcast. But
It might be on a Twitch channel named The Shinny Gamer.
Somewhere.
I will most definitely join in if you would have me.
Yeah.
We're the new Critical Role. He's Matt Mercer. Okay, I'm Tiberius.
This chair is very weak. Please do not put that burden on me.
That chair was $30. Okay, very cheap. I got it off Amazon.
Nice.
So we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching the Traveling Businessman. You can find us on Facebook under the Creare Marketing. You can find us on YouTube under Traveling Businessman. Soon to be Rumble. I'm gonna upload all the episodes on there under the Traveling Businessman, and soon to be TikTok. I almost forgot that. I don't use TikTok. So soon to be TikTok on the Traveling Businessman, and look out for the Shinny Gamer, and look out for the next world famous hair shop in the next 5 years. It's going to be owned by Haley.
Yep.
Patrick's going to be doing Shinny Gaming. So you guys look out for those, and thank you guys for watching. You have to close it.